Hi, how are you? Welcome to Gold Nugget, JAW_success. If this is your first time to the channel, let me welcome you. If you have already subscribed, let me thank you for joining me on this growth path. Today, my nugget is things change. Some of us, we look at what we have now and we use it to determine that we will never be any better. We'll never reach anywhere. We'll never accomplish anything because what we have is too small. Also, we look back at where we have been and we said to ourselves that because of where I have been, things will remain the same way. And the truth is, people do change, and because people change, things change. Everything in our environment is changing, whether it be the condition of the weather because of climate change, or whether it be because we are encountering new economic problems. Things are changing, but things change. And because things change, we can have this confidence that no matter where we are, it can either get better or worse. Now, the aim of this nugget is to say to you, don't let it get worse, let it become better. I am married, and one of the vows in marriage is for better or worse. Now, many individuals are choosing not to say those lines because to them, they are not going to stick around you when it gets worse. They are only in it for better. Well, I'm saying to you, there are challenges for it to remain or to get better. And equally well, there are challenges for it to get worse. What kind of challenge am I talking about? I'm speaking of the challenge that it takes effort to live and to work with people. Whether we are married to them or whether we are working in a building with a team of people, it's always going to take some storming, some norming, some challenges in order for us to see where we're going together. Because corporate vision, oneness of mind, singularity of purpose between more than one individual takes effort and it takes challenges for it to accomplish. Okay? So if any of us decide that we are going to accomplish our dream and get our targets met and our goals accomplished by ourselves without the help of others, we are making the worst mistake that we can make because we need people. And I guess this is why, oftentimes I will say to you in my nuggets that please like, subscribe, share, help this channel to grow, because if this channel grow, these nuggets will reach to somebody who really need to hear it, and they can pull themselves, as I have done in the past, by their bootstrap and see that yes, things are difficult now, but it will not always remain difficult. And so if you share, if you leave the comments, if you speak into the nuggets, other persons will pick up what you say and they will get a better understanding even of what I am saying in these nuggets. All right. So I will go back to say, as individuals, we will never be able to accomplish things all by ourselves. We need other people. But to work with other individuals is always going to have challenges because each of us have our own needs and each of us have our own desires and expectation. And while the both of us or all of us in the group might have the same mindset at the beginning, because our individual lives are changing, our individual circumstances are changing, then the oneness of mind that we had at the beginning can go through the window and down the walk. All right. So it changes. But when things are changing, it is for us as individuals to recognize that, okay, it can get worse. How will it get worse? What are the challenges that we must face or put up with for things to get worse? The things that we have to put up with for something to get worse, and probably I will have to do an whole entire nugget on this point alone. How do we move from where we are to making something worse? Can I tell you this? We move from where we are to make something become worse by not knowing what we need to do. We're not sure of the expectations of others. Here I go again. The challenge of living and working with people. The challenge of knowing your own desires, your own dreams, your own passion, but at the same time balancing it with all that is changing around you. I once wrote in a nugget that says, it is very hard to hold a vision and to hold on to a vision and see it through to completion in an ever-changing time and an ever-shifting society. It's difficult because when you get up in the morning and say, yeah, today is a sure bet, even the weather change. You know, I got up and it was beautiful sun. And the next thing I know, I said, okay, I'm going to go out riding. The next thing I know, it was raining non-stop. So even the weather don't conform to what we want. So when we know, however, what we want and we are pushing ourselves towards it, we're driving ourselves towards it, things change. And as I said, it will change for the better or for the worse. And it will change for the worse when we decide that we are not going to work with what we have in our hands presently to make it better. You know, I don't know if I said it before in this nugget, but if I have not said it before, let me repeat myself if I have said it. Anytime we look back at what we have, where we have been, or look back or look at what we don't have, and use it to determine where we are, where we can't go, or where we shouldn't go, or where we will never end up, we put ourselves into problems. Because guess what? Where we are right now is not cast in stone. It's not set. We always can recover from the mistakes of the past. We always can push and pull ourselves forward from the challenges of the present. But it must take determination. So here I come to make this point, that determination is what will either make things better or worse. If we lack determination, things will get worse. If we lack the determination that I am going to do something every day to increase my passion, to increase my ability to get to where I am going, that simple knock, that simple push, that simple struggle, if I'm never going to get up each day and be consistent at pushing against the wall, I will remain where I am. And because society is changing and because things around me is changing, I will end up worse off. However, if I have this passion and drive and I have this willpower to say, yes, things are not as good as they should be. And yes, things are not as sweet as I would want them to be. Guess what? I will end up pushing ahead and I will move along either with society and by God's grace, help and divine favor by persons like you who subscribe to this channel. I will nudge or edge ahead of what is happening around me. So a part of this nugget is to say, get yourself in a position where you can edge yourself around or ahead of what is happening around you. Because if you don't edge ahead, time will move past you. People will outgrow you. Things will either grow out ahead of you or they will break down around you and you will become worse off. So things change. And because things change and because people change, we ourselves are required to change. We can never remain the same. We can never be comfortable. with the amount of information that we have. We can never become, well, I grew up in church, and somebody once said to me that I should be contented with what I have. Many do not have what I have, and that is true, right? Being contented is a heart of gold, but contentment doesn't mean satisfaction. You can be contented but not satisfied. And anytime we become satisfied with what we have or where we are, then things will move away from us, and we in the background will lose our position in life. We will lose our station, as I was told. All right. So as individuals, my challenge to you is, as things change, you change. Change in your information. Change in the amount of things that you acquire. Change in the amount of people you influence. Change in the places you go. Some of us are doing the same thing over and over. We get out of bed, eat the same thing, wear the same clothes, talk to the same people, go to work and do the same thing, and we come back home and we do the same thing, and at the same time we wonder, why is it that our lives remain the same? Why is it that things are not changing for me? Why is it that my circumstances is not changing? It is not changing because you are holding it in its position. And because things change, the pressure of holding your life, your vision, your dream, the people around you in the same position, in the same expectation, is pushing against you. And that's where depression is coming for some of us. That's where depression is eating out the heart of some of us, because we can't see that we are the ones trying to hold on to something that is supposed to be changing. And because it is changing, we are supposed to be changing, and we refuse to change. And so in this nugget, I am saying to you, don't refuse to change. Learn how to give up something in order to progress to something else. And oftentimes what we must give up is our own views on certain things. We must give up the love that we have for certain things. Give up the attraction for certain things. Because unless we give up those attractions, unless we give up the love, unless we give up the joy that it brings to me, we will never change. The reason some of us get worse, as I said before, it's because we don't see what is expected of us. We don't see that, okay, I'm expected to hold down a job, but instead I'm holding the alcohol. I'm drinking too much. I'm expected, all right, to be a good husband and a good father, but I am holding on to the football games and hanging out with the friends and going out with the next girl and doing all of those things. So my life is becoming worse, right? When the expectation on my part is to just do the little things that will draw me into being who I am supposed to be. And because as well, things changes, I can get better. And the more I do the little things that is required of me, is the better my life become. Don't want to make this nugget any longer, but just to say to you, things change. It will not remain the same. Don't kill yourself over it. Don't allow it to suck you down into the ground saying it will never happen for you. It will happen if you do the little things. It will happen if you make slight adjustment to your life every day. It will happen if you determine in your spirit that as things change, I'm going to do my best to get a little edge ahead. Inch ahead until you get ahead. All right? Because that's how it works. It doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen. And this is JAW saying to you, by all means necessary, create a way out. All right? God bless you. Bye.